You're 25. When are you going to grow up and stop asking your mom to come down and cry and do this for you? Your mom should be enjoying the best days of her life, not dealing with someone who's 25 years old. You're a grown man and you're behaving like a child. Court is calling 2023 CR 5280, State of Texas versus Kevin Alfred James Jones. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Lindsay Shaw for Mr. Jones.
And are you Mr. Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery, showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Off the record for a moment. Probation, this is an application. We're back on the record. Did you understand in count 2, you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams? Oh, off the record for a moment. So that you understand that the state is not waiving the enhancement paragraph. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
In defense, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So what's being waived is count 1 only, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Any objection to the waiver of count 1?
No objection.
All right. So what you're charged with in count 2 is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams. That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment for a second-degree felony is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If the state is able to prove the enhancement paragraph allegation, then your range of punishment will be anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes,
Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 2. You'd agree that you've been previously convicted of 1 or more felonies. Punishment is to be assessed at 9 years in the prison. There's a $2,500 fine. There's no application for deferred adjudication. The state recommends community supervision. They're taking in consideration 2023 CR 4278, and there's to be restitution to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
it is, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 6 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 220 hours community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offense as charged in count 2, how do you plea? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? And to the enhancement paragraph, how do you plead? True or not true? State any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State exhibit number 1 with all its attachments.
No objection.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. The court will find the enhancement paragraph true based upon your plea of true and based upon states exhibits 1 and attachments.
Thank
Are
you.
you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Are you employed?
I actually
That's
have-
either yes or no.
No.
All right. How long have you been unemployed?
Actual 9 to 5. I'm not even sure. I do side jobs. Moving company.
All right. If you are on probation in this court, I require a job and I require a job where someone gives you a W-2. You understand?
Well, I'll have my own business soon. Moving company.
You need to provide proof of that. Do you have any children?
Yes.
How many?
2,
What are their ages?
4, and 1 on the way.
Who do you live with?
I don't want my.
If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be for everything? And that includes marijuana, alcohol, all of that.
I feel a little dirty. Is
Have you ever used anything other than marijuana? That's either yes or no. We're not doing notes. We're not doing all this, and I don't understand. I'm getting some attitude from you, and I don't understand that. If you want to wear a Michael Jordan jersey, Michael Jordan could afford to have attitude because he was exhibiting greatness. You are not. So there's to be no attitude towards me in this court. Do you understand? And you will get a job. Do you understand? Am I speaking a foreign language to you? All right, then you need to answer my question. Do you understand that you will get a job?
Should I leave it?
All right, so this is what we're going to do. You're going to step back, you'll wait. I'll take up sentencing later. And counsel, if you want to speak to your client about his
Yes, ma'am.
attitude.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, we're back on the record in 2023 CR 5280, State of Texas versus Kevin Jones. Defense
Charles Buck.
and state.
Jason Garrett.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 9 years in prison, suspended and probated for 8 years. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular UAs, and he needs to be tested for levels. There's a $2,500 fine. That'll be probated. What are the court costs in this case, please? Take in consideration 2023 C 4278. There's to be restitution to SAPD for drug testing. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. 220 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to ask for parenting classes. Once he completes that, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Proof of employment within 15 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. What's the cost? All right, the court costs in this case are $325. Will you be able to pay that in installments? Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it? Because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right.
Did you,
Yes.
sorry, did you say 9 years probated for 8?
Yes. All right. If he completes everything successfully, then he can always come back.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. May we be excused?
Yes. Counsel, did you have a chance to speak with probation?
I did.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 5280, State of Texas versus Kevin Alfred James Jones. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense.
David A. Garcia, attorney for Kevin Jones.
And are you Mr. Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Kevin Alfred James Jones who was placed on community supervision in 2023 CR 5280 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on January 22nd, 2024 for a term of 8 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, violated condition number 1 on or about the 22nd day, May 2024, in Bear County, Texas. Defendant Kevin Alfred James Jones committed the offense of evading arrest or detention in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Your Honor, we'll waive the remaining violated conditions.
No
Any-
objection.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 9 years in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true Is there a proposed agreement?
There's your honor.
Yes.
It is to deny the motion to revoke, continue in Willis probation. The state is taking into consideration clause number 766366. And also to have the individual attend state ISF.
That is the agreement, Your Honor.
So why is he continuing to violate? I mean, why is he violating probation?
Well, Judge, if you look at the three conditions, two of which have now been waived. The evading, I conferred with the state. It was something I've actually filed a motion for continuance. Because when you look at the police report, it was an execution of a search warrant at a location not my client's. And he was outside of the house. When the police arrived, everyone ran. My client states that he heard bangs. He was fearing for his life. So he ran and hid, and they found him hiding behind a shed in the area. The report from the probation department shows he's been clean. So that was a stupid mistake, Judge. The state and I looked at it. The motion was to get the video, but we worked out this deal. He's been sitting in jail for 2 months. His mother's present, who supports him and loves him. Other than that, the other violation was something about proof of change of address. And I think when he was arrested, he gave I think his father's address or something, which is different. And then I think the last one was not completing community service or something like that. So he's been working on doing well. We're hoping that the three months in ISF will make sure that he understands he cannot afford any mistakes. And we're hoping that you grant him this opportunity to prove himself and keep him on probation.
All right, and state with regards to this evading, I haven't seen the police report.
Would you like the police? I mean, pretty much the rendition is that it was a drug house that he was standing outside of and with another gentleman. When the officers arrived at DPS, they did run off and did not stop when asked to stop, and that's the evader.
All right, thank you. You may continue to confer.
Thank you.
Why is it takes people to get arrested to decide they're going to change their life and they want to do things differently? He should not have even been outside a known drug house. And I don't want to hear, I didn't know it was a known drug house, because if you live in a neighborhood, no matter where you stay, you know what house is the house that you shouldn't be at.
I think the gentleman he was speaking to was his uncle, which doesn't excuse where he was, Judge, but that's the situation we have.
And doesn't excuse giving fake addresses, doesn't excuse any of this. How old are you?
25.
You want to raise your right hand for me? You solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Keelan Jones.
Do you know what your conditions of probation are?
Yes, sir.
Do you know part of your conditions of probation, you can't hang around people who've been in prison, who are out of prison, who are on probation? Do you realize that?
Yes, sir.
So is your uncle out of prison, been on probation, any of those things?
10 years ago. Yes, ma'am.
You can't hang around him.
Yes, ma'am.
You can't hang around any family member who's been in and out, well, who's been to prison, out of prison, on probation. It's not allowed while you're on probation. Do you want to go to prison? Then why are you behaving like you want to go to prison? Why? Why? You're 25. When are you going to grow up? And stop asking your mom to come down and cry and do this for you. Your mom should be enjoying the best days of her life, not dealing with someone who's 25 years old. You're a grown man and you're behaving like a child. When's the last time you had employment?
Before this happened.
Doing what?
Working at a moving company.
And how far did you go in school?
I graduated.
And what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life, other than hanging out with people you shouldn't be hanging around?
Need to stay out of trouble.
Well, everybody, I'm staying out of trouble. Are you staying out of trouble?
I try, Judge. I don't.
Everybody's staying out of trouble, unless it's good trouble.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
staying in bad trouble. And then you come to the court and you want to beg me to give you another chance. And you bring your mom down here when she has to pay for parking. I don't know if she drove or if she took the bus, but she could have been doing something else with her day. Instead, she dealing with a grown man who don't want to behave well. Probation, is this what you all are asking for? All right, I'll deny the motion, alternate amend conditions to include the MRT, ISF, and upon release, I want him on GPS. And it's going to be partial, and it's for employment only. So what that means is you're going to be on GPS. The only thing you're allowed to do on GPS is go to work and go back home. Who are you going to be living with?
Mother,
Does your mom want you living with her?
yes,
Did you ask her? That's either yes or no.
yes.
If I call her up here, is she gonna say you asked her, can I live with you?
Yes.
All right, so I see you looking up to see. Is he allowed to stay with you?
But he's gonna abide by what I say.
All right, if you can come forward, please. Move over there. All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Anya Bledsoe?
All right. Is this your son?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, he's saying that he has your permission to live at your home. Is he allowed to live at your home?
Yes, he is.
All right, so he's going to be on GPS. He will only be allowed to go to work, then he has to come home.
Yes, ma'am.
If he violates those conditions, a motion to revoke is going to be filed.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else you think your son needs to be successful?
If I tell you,
No, tell me.
you need to listen.
Okay.
I say, your people are the wrong, your choices of the people are the wrong thing in your mind. You can't get over. He was raised the correct way. So what he has done it doesn't make any sense. Following somebody is no good. Be a leader.
Mhm.
That's what I try to teach him. He's a good kid. He really and truly is. It's just like I say, following the wrong, even family. Because I have to cut mine out too.
Mhm.
So he will work. He helps me out with everything. He's a good kid, very mannerable and everything. And not to bring up when he was with you first time, I told him, you went up there and you let that lady tell you when you shouldn't have even acted like she wasn't talking to you. And I told him, you are to apologize to her. That's the proper thing. That is the proper thing because he wasn't raised like that. I love him to death, but I will. And he has left home before. I told him, you think you're gonna run around here and do what you wanna do, get your things and go. I'm not gonna deal with that.
Okay.
So, I spoke with him this time. Yes, he did, my mama do the right thing. Okay, because I will call the police. I will turn him in. I don't have a problem with that because I don't need the headache.
All right, so let me just tell you, I'm gonna make sure you give your address to probation because when he's released from custody, that's where he's gonna be staying.
Yes, ma'am.
And she will give you the phone number of who his probation officer is gonna be.
Yes, ma'am. And I do believe as far as that address thing, on his ID is 522.
Oh, no. Here's the thing. I'm gonna continue him. We're starting from ground zero right now.
Okay.
So he's gonna know where he needs to stay. And that's where we'll be, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you. And Judge, regarding the GPS, can
All
we
right.
waive the fees?
Oh, just 1 second. Come back up, Mr. Jones. All right. Oh, don't be bowing your head like you have some kind of shame. Your mother is saving your life. You understand?
Yes.
All right, the court is going to deny the motion, alternate amend conditions to include MRT, ISF upon release, and he's to remain in custody until transferred to ISF cognitive. There's going to be GPS partial for employment only, waive GPS fees, and it's going to be proof of employment within 30 days of release. And you are to reside with your mother until further notice.
That's state ISF, right, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Probation, is there anything else he needs? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You may think you're an adult, but guess what? You're going to be living in your mom's home. So she has her rules. If she wants the television off at 10, television goes off at 10. If you want to make your own rules, you need to get your own place. And I'm telling you right now, you are not allowed to leave your mother's house or go live somewhere else without the court's permission. Do you understand?
Yes.
Is there anything you do not understand?
ma'am.
Anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Good luck.
Yes.
This is an off docket matter.
Okay.
Mr. Jones has come to the court with some concerns. He's on GPS monitor
Mhm.
and he would like to see about getting his monitor times adjusted.
All right, so what times are you requesting?
Well, for right now, I have a newborn child.
Okay, congratulations.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's make sure we are giving them the best example that we can. All right,
So I was supposed to be at the hospital at, I didn't think I was gonna be here this long, but at 2:30,
Mhm.
I have to, the baby is ready to be discharged.
okay,
And I have to be there. They don't want me to be coming in and out from the baby feeding this day, that day. They want to do it all in several hours.
all right. Any objections to him with the baby at the hospital?
No, Judge, I think there's just other stuff that might be, needs to be addressed, and I'll let him explain it.
Okay, so there's no objections to you being at the hospital. Are they still waiting to release the baby? Or have they already left?
No, I need that to do the baby feeding and the CPR class. and shit.
Oh, you got to do the CPR classes.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, back in the day, they didn't give you what is it? CPR classes. They just said, good luck to you and your baby. Yeah, all right.
And I'm a full-time student at a South Texas Vocational Technical Institute.
Okay,
I go to school from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
8 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's
Yeah.
school.
I'm currently looking for a job
All right, so 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. school. What days?
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday, okay? And then you have the baby hospital. So there's going to be no issues with you at the hospital, okay? And there's no issues with school. I think everybody wants you to better yourself. All right, so what's the other issue?
So baby, besides setting up appointments for the baby, looking for a job, there's nothing else really.
All right, so State, let me ask you, is this something maybe tracking with curfew?
Well, Judge, I think, I don't know if it's been said, but my understanding is that the mother of the child is not present,
Mhm.
and that's a concern, because I don't know who's taking care of the child when she's not around and he's not around.
Okay,
So that's just a concern of the state. I think that since it's really problem.
all right, who's taking care of the baby when you're not around?
Um,
I'm sorry? Oh, isn't it always grandmothers being parents? All right. So he's saying his mom. Any other concerns?
Not necessarily, Judge. I, just to let the court know, I did email the school for the state connected leave accommodation wellbeing classes that
Mhm.
confirmed that he was attending from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Okay.
That's what the coordinator said. And the only concerns are just to make sure that the newborn child is taken care of. That's the other concern of the state.
All right, let me ask you this with regards to the newborn. So when you're not around and the mother is not around, you say that your mom is the person who takes care of the child? All right.
yeah, so it can provide me.
Wait a minute, you're just about to say something important and the machine is printing. Okay, yes.
Daycare services,
Okay.
if it's needed.
All right, please check into daycare services. Just don't take your baby to anybody's daycare. You know, people need to start investigating daycares when you're taking your child there. I always would tell clients that I would have, would you just go to a strange house, not knowing anybody, and you just are in there, or would you want to investigate what's going on? So make sure that you investigate the daycare, because your baby is not at the age, I believe, where they can talk and tell you what's going on, right? So investigate, just don't drop your child off someplace, okay?
Yes,
All righty, so. So is there an issue with tracking, or do y'all want to, what I can do is I can try out this schedule allowing him to go to work, go to school full-time, be with his child and see how that goes. And then maybe move towards tracking only.
Judge, yeah, I mean, the state's be okay with it. It seems like he at least is trying to excel and going to school and being a responsible father. The concern was is that the mother wasn't, I guess, present or not able to be present because of the possibility of incarcerations. And so that was this concern of the state, and this was brought to my attention from probation.
All right, so let me ask you this. Have you had a chance to talk to his mom?
she said she apologized, she's not here, she's looking for parking. She did tell me.
Oh, she's driving around?
She's trying to find parking.
Oh, let me ask you, can she zoom in? Does she know how to zoom? While they're driving? Ah,
Judge, and I did tell the state that, in regards to his concerns, there are, field visits that are already, a part of his condition terms
mhm.
to where, our officers will be doing home visits.
Okay, and then what I can say, and as a part of the conditions that I added was that he's to reside with his mom. So you're residing with your mom?
Yes.
So. All right, then, do you want to do tracking only and then we can do an update?
That'd be fine.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do tracking only. What that means is, really, don't go wild, right? Just do your school, taking care of your child, looking for employment. Don't get sidetracked because it's easy to get off that path, okay?
Even before I got it put on Friday, I've been at home and just going to school. I ain't been trying to get no trouble. No.
All right, well, I'm so proud that you're actually bettering yourself. Welding is a good profession. Don't burn yourself too much. Well, you know what they say? They say you're not a welder until you're burned. And then I knew an attorney who decided he was going to be a carpenter. He's a carpenter, but he lost a digit. And he said, people say you're not a carpenter until you've lost a digit. As people say, you're not an attorney till you've had a grievance filed against you. There's so many professions like that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do tracking only. And does he have community service hours?
I do.
All right, so Bashan,
Yes, Judge.
he has the community service hours, but I did put down he completes parenting classes and his community service hours will be deemed satisfied. So do the CPR classes, do parenting classes, and then you won't have to do the community service hours.
Yes.
All right, so they'll be tracking only, and then we will recall this. You all want to recall this in 30 days or 60 days to see how things are going?
Either. We'll report the report.
All right. Norma, we're going to recall this. It's 2023 CR 5280. We'll recall this. What's a good time for you to come down? What day of the week? Okay, so any day in the afternoon, we could set it at 2. Get out one. You want to do 2:30?
Yes.
All right, and then I understand if you're driving from school. So we can set at April 7th. 8th, or 10th. So that's Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. All right, you want,
I ain't got no specific date.
all right, so we'll do Tuesday then. No, usually that's our jury trial date. We'll do it Monday, the 7th, okay? And I'll put you down April 7th at 2 p.m. I'm saying 2 p.m., but I'll write on the docket sheet 2-ish because sometimes traffic is some kind of way. Well, congratulations. I'm glad you're doing well. Keep it up, okay? All right, thank you.
I'm gonna do a reset.
Yes, Norma, can you give him a reset form and put 2-ish on there, please?